Hello, Councilwoman Muriel Bowser. Now, as you know, my name is Eric Sheptuck, and I communicated with you and your staff a while ago about DC homelessness, and you responded. So I want to thank you for responding. But your staff also said that I should look at your position paper on homelessness. So I have it electronically in front of me right now. Now, what stands out to me is that you referenced the fact that there are 7,000 homeless people in D.C. Well, I should tell you, it went up from about 6,900 last year to 7,200 this year. So there's been a slight increase. And then you said in your one-line paragraph, your second paragraph, that you're going to end homelessness by 2025. I couldn't help but laugh at that one, not because of you and anything that you've done or haven't done, but because in December 2004, under Anthony Williams, we signed a 10-year plan to end homelessness by the end of 2014. We're in 2014, and we have more than 20% more homeless people than we had at that time. And so we haven't come close to ending homelessness. And furthermore, in 2007, they scrapped the 10-year plan because they weren't meeting benchmarks. Now, that lends itself to the fact that you're only going to be mayor for 4 years. You're promised 4 years. Of course, you can run for a second, third, or fourth term. Okay, that's understood. But since you only have 4 years that are promised to you, you should only plan around the 4 years. So if you're going to decrease homelessness, let's decrease it by 40% in 4 years. 40% of 7,200 is 2,880. So, can you decrease it by that much in your 4 years? Now, you reference your use of the local rent supplement program, LRSP, and of the rapid rehousing. Now, I should remind you that the advocates don't like the rapid rehousing because of the fact that it gives families 4 months of assistance with the possibility of 2 extensions or a year's worth of assistance, and many families are not going to increase their ability to pay $2,000 a month rent, in a year's time. And so, with that being the case, we aren't real crazy about the rapid rehousing. But I also want to remind you that there is a CCNV task force, which is talking about the future of this building that I'm standing in front of. And the task force will dissolve in July, and at that time we're going to issue our recommendations for the present mayor and the future mayor. And since you want to be the future mayor, you should sign on to that. So you don't just have the rapid rehousing, a program that the advocates disagree with, and you don't just have LRSP, but you also have the plan that's being put together for the future of the Federal City Shelter, also known as CCNV. And so we would ask that you sign on to that, because almost 20% of the people, which would be 2 years worth of work for you, are in this one building. So if you adopt the plan that we come up with for CCNV, and then you also come up with a plan for getting another 1,500 people out of homelessness, then that would take care of your 4 years. So let's not have all this hype and hope. Let's do something tangible. Let's do something that can be done within your 4 years, okay? And let me see what else is in here that I might want to point out. So you say to do this, we need to think both short-term and long-term. And so what I just said to you addresses that. Let me see. And you want to close the DC General Family Shelter. Now, I should say that I disagree with the pretext that they use for closing it. We're all saddened by the story of Alicia Rudd, but here at CCNV, they stopped serving families because an older woman died and a young girl saw it. And so because of the deceased, people die. It's sad. But at the same time, the death of an older person is no reason to stop serving families. And they're doing the same thing with Alicia Rudd. There was more to the story than the mere fact that she was in a decrepit shelter. It's decrepit. We dislike it. There are a lot of things wrong with it, but it beats being on the street. And let's not use a story that has 5 or 10 layers to it as a reason for closing the shelter and putting families into a more tenuous situation that might cause them to return to homelessness with the shelter now being closed.